Hi, welcome back to the Odd Holloway. It has been officially 1 week of ArtFight 2026. As I mentioned in my last video, this is my first year participating in ArtFight. Just before a couple months ago, I wasn't exactly sure what ArtFight even was or how to participate, but with some help from a user called TheGreenSnek, I am able to play and hopefully bring my all to this game of creativity. Just a disclaimer though, I have gathered permission by almost every artist featured in this video to mention their art fights and show their respective OCs. However, I wasn't able to get a hold of one artist, that being SailorMew. I hope that shouting them out and showing their character without their permission is not inappropriate. Please let me know if I need to correct anything about this, if I do need permission. I am still new to this stuff. Regardless, I encourage all who see this to please go check out the links I have for them in the description of this video, and, if you're up for it, even sending them a few attacks their way this month. All of these artists are so talented and creative, I really had such a blast drawing their OCs, and I acknowledge that I still have a lot to learn when it comes to art, so I hope I can do these characters justice in portraying them. Now before we move on to the defenses and attack portion of this video, let's take a look at where the three teams this year place within the first week. So far, Comedy is taking the lead, Tragedy hot on its heels, and Mystery tailing behind. Comedy held points in the 35% for the first few days, though falling to 34% as Tragedy gained a rise from roughly 32% to 33%. All the while, Mystery never rose above the approximate 31 percentile. Come on, Team Mystery, we gotta step it up here! Now, I'm not sure how drastically these numbers could change throughout the month, though I wouldn't get too comfy, Comedy, because Tragedy is gunning for first as of now. First up in the defense roster, and from the very first person to attack me, this very cool piece submitted July 2nd by Wounded Animal, accumulating 7 points for Team Tragedy. I have a soft spot for rough, colored sketches, and this style really captures R99's disheveled state and bringing a mysterious vibe to it as well. Very well done, Wounded Animal. Next up, we have this awesome friendly fire, also submitted July 2nd by Dredgenchart. I really hope I'm pronouncing that name right. Gathering 12 points for Team Mystery, and I am honored to have been their first attack this year. I love Runaway's face here. He's just a goofy guy, and the surprised and confused expression is very well done. Also, I love how his tail and pose were drawn. Awesome work, Dredgenchart. The third defense in this roster was coincidentally submitted the 3rd of July by Dyingvictoriangirl, earning a whopping 46.25 points for Team Tragedy. This one marking the start of our eventual revenge chain. Honestly, the colors for this are stunning. I love the green, goopy eyes and glowing red brain. The attention to detail here makes it look straight out of a comic panel. Very well done, Dyingvictoriangirl. Now moving on to this goofy little piece submitted July 6th by Cosmic Eyes, accumulating 25 points for Team Tragedy. This one made me laugh when I first saw it, just Runaway blatantly refusing to acknowledge that this wanted poster is for him. He just looks so laid back, or even a little high here. I love the purple line art, it makes it look very cartoony. Thank you, Cosmic Eyes. Now here we have another piece submitted by Dyingvictoriangirl on July 7th, 3rd in our revenge chain, and scoring a clean 44 points for Team Tragedy. This one is absolutely wonderful. The background, the painterly colors, I can't get over the shoelaces forming a star. I love the donkey hoodie you gave him to match with Friday. Honestly stunning. Thank you so much again, Dyingvictoriangirl. Seriously, you guys are all so absolutely talented, and it warms my heart that you guys took the time to draw my little guys. Thank you again for these amazing pieces. Now we move on to my attacks for this week. Before we get into that though, I need to mention that I did forget to record the speed paints for the first two, and for my third there's only half of the process recorded because my tablet decided to delete that footage due to there not being enough room in my storage, which I am kind of upset about, but at least there's some of it, I guess. Anyway, I digress. I decided to dedicate my first ever attack and friendly fire, submitted July 2nd, to TheGreenSnek with their Sona Namaiki, scoring our team 17.75 points. Not bad for my first one. Without their help, I wouldn't be participating this year, honestly, so thank you again, TheGreenSnek, for helping me along with this. I decided to flesh out this piece to the best of my ability, though I kind of struggled with lighting, but I think it turned out pretty decent. Regardless, a very adorable character, I couldn't just not draw it. My second was another friendly fire, submitted July 4th and directed at ORCHIDSPINE with their R&M OC E-Delta79 Morty, scoring our team a decent 46.25 points. His design was just too cool to pass up, and I just had to take some of my own creative liberties with his outfit. Just a very cool concept art piece, which I had an absolute blast drawing, though my neck was very sore the next day. My third, also submitted July 4th, was an actual attack this time for SailorMew, with her very adorable character Nimbus, specifically her night form, accumulating 35.25 points for my team. This OC was actually one of the first I added to my list back in June of ones I wanted to attack. She was just too adorable to pass up, how could I not? I did get the idea of colored stars around the character from another artist's interpretation of her day form by MarleeMutt. And that's all that I managed to save, unfortunately. She just gave me old cartoon vibes, so I decided to go with a VHS filter I make from scratch. And yes, that was part of the unsaved portion. I really wish that could have been a part of this. Nevertheless, we move on to my next attack. This attack was a revenge for Dyingvictoriangirl's drawing of R99, beginning our revenge chain with their character No One, submitted July 5th and scoring a huge 92.5 points for my team. lie, I was a bit afraid going into this one. I was unsure whether I should keep the ink lines or paint it in, though I ultimately decided to paint it. And I was especially afraid of the lighting, as I struggle with that aspect of art the most. Though I surprised myself with this one, although it does look a bit amateur. Once that peach sky came in, it started to come together. Honestly, a very cool looking character. I really enjoyed drawing this one. Sadly though, the final part of this footage was not saved, as I had to keep pausing in between draws. Also, sorry about the speed paints being fidgety and all over. I am new to recording speed paints and I don't know if there's a setting in Autodesk that keeps the canvas still after the recording is saved. Now we move on to my battle ratio so far this week. As of now, my ratio is a peculiar 44.44 points, though somewhere midweek it was near an even 50. I have accumulated 191.5 points in total, with 2 regular attacks and 2 friendly fires against 5 defenses, so overall not bad for my first week. And with that, we move on to the last section of this video. I thought it'd be fun to briefly introduce the new characters I add each week, so here are the 2 new ones I have added to my roster. This is Rick, HY-5, also said as High Five. Yes, I know, another Rick and Morty OC. He can also be referred to as Rickenstein's monster, because he is sort of made up of 5 other Ricks, all broken apart and stitched together, which causes quite the confusing jumble of personalities bouncing around in his brain and body. And this is Rick K355, otherwise known as Library Rick. He is a laid-back Rick who, after being separated from his Beth for 8 years following the death of his wife Diane, has chosen to never space travel again. He lives with his daughter and 2 very young grandkids. Honestly, it's kind of a crime I haven't put this guy in yet, as some Tumblr users seem to really like him a lot. He also keeps getting compared to different animals for some reason. Now, there will be more info for these guys on their ArtFight profiles, but that's all I'm going to leave here for now. Well, that's all for this week. Thank you for stopping by, and good luck in battle, folks!